messieurs, votre attention s'il vous plaît. L'Orient Express à destination de Strasbourg, Munich, Vienne, Budapest, Belgrade, Sofia et Constantinople va partir. Les passagers sont priés de monter à bord des voitures. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. The Orient Express is now leaving for Strasbourg, Munich, Vienna, Budapest, Belgrade, Sofia and Constantinople. All passengers should be on board.
En voiture, fermez les portières s'il vous plaît.
Excusez-moi, monsieur.
Premier service, le dîner est servi dans le wagon-restaurant. Dinner is served in the restaurant car. Premier service, le dîner est servi dans le wagon-restaurant. Dinner is served in the restaurant car.
Kath, have come across something exceptional. More your line than mine. Depart Orient Express, 7 p.m. Friday, Garda Lest. You're the only one I can trust. Your pal, Tyler. P.S. Hope you're not still angry about what happened in Cuba.
I accept. Need to get out of town for a while anyway. Book double compartment in your own name. Don't mention mine. Maybe a little late. I'll meet you on the train. Kath. P.S. Still angry about Cuba.
Bonsoir mon oncle.
Comment vas-tu?
Tout va très bien, monsieur.
Est-ce que tu es un Américain au numéro?
Ah, vous voulez dire monsieur Whitney? Il est resté sur le quai jusqu'à la dernière minute, puis il s'est installé dans son compartiment et paf, je ne sais même pas de quoi il allait. En plus,
On va demander de me raconter ça. Frappe à sa porte et dis-lui que Monsieur Schmidt l'attend au wagon-restaurant. Il l'attend déjà depuis un bon moment.
bien sûr, mon oncle, monsieur.
Et ne m'appelle pas mon nom.
Je suis désolé, mon oncle. Je veux dire monsieur. Pardonnez-moi.
À part ça, tout va bien.
Tout va bien. À part le voyage à Lucerne, il y a 4 compartiments pour de femmes voilées. Et dès que je passe dans le couloir, il me dévisage, comme si j'étais prêt à les violer.
Tu sais qui ces femmes appartiennent, non?
Bonsoir, monsieur.
François, viens ici. Arrête tout de suite.
Pardon me?
Petit bonhomme, il faudrait te calmer.
Tu sais... French is so funny. Madame Caillot seems to become a sort of national heroine. Somehow she's been transformed from an insignificant woman enslaved and overshadowed by her husband into a passionate avenger.
Si les petites bourgeoises se mettent à écrire l'histoire, on n'est pas sorti d'affaire.
Voilà bien une réflexion de petite aristocrate.
Arrête. Tu dis toi-même qu'elle est une Madame Bovary.
What counts is she's acted. She's the very opposite of Madame Bovary. I'd say more Joan of Arc, really.
Ooh, the English burnt at the stake.
Must you always bring that up?
Well, it happened.
What really interests me about Madame Caillot is the way the French scandals develop so differently from English ones. Like the Dreyfus affair. In England, the Jewish army...
Bonsoir, monsieur. We have a nice table for you here in the corner. If you will please follow me. Please, monsieur, have a seat. Ah, Herr Whitney. You are different than I had imagined.
Sorry to keep you waiting. I ran across an old friend.
One does have the most unexpected encounters on trains. Shall we get down to business? Have you brought the gold? First you kept me waiting, now you don't answer me. I have kept my half of the bargain. If something has gone wrong, I would like to know it.
Nothing has gone wrong.
I'm glad. I trust that you will not mind if I asked to see the gold.
I trust you won't mind either if I ask to see what I'm buying.
To see it? But you know that is impossible. The merchandise will be put on the train at Munich. It is what we agreed.
Good. Then we're even. Herr Schmidt, it's been a pleasure. We'll talk again after Munich.
Bonsoir, monsieur. Does monsieur wish to order dinner?
Yes, I will have the roast duck and a bottle of 96 Bordeaux.
Very good, monsieur.
Bien, on rentre. Mais non, ça se passe pas comme ça sur les grandes lignes.
Good evening,
Une
Your
écouteur.
Excellency.
On attend le deuxième
Mademoiselle,
service.
I trust
Si on
everything
prend
has
le
been
dîner
to your
maintenant,
satisfaction.
on va s'ennuyer.
Mind if I join you?
Tu les as
Your
regardés?
Excellency,
Why not?
Que des vieux et des gens
your
impossibles.
presence here with your lovely granddaughter is too great of an honor. I am not worthy to serve you. I thank you for your indulgence. I will bother you no further. Mademoiselle?
I didn't mean to scare you off.
For me, a bowl of soup is enough. I can't take no pleasure in food, while millions of my countrymen go without bread. Good evening. Excuse me.
Pardon me.
Bonsoir, monsieur.
Oui, qui est-ce? Entrez!
Pardon me.
Oui, qui est-ce? Entrez!
Sorry, my mistake. Pardon me.
Qui est-ce?
Sorry. Excuse me. Got a light? Thanks. Haven't we met somewhere before?
It's possible. I don't think I would have remembered. Excuse me.
Bonsoir, monsieur.
Who is it?
Sorry, wrong door. Pardon me?
Ah, monsieur, excuse me. These compartments belong to the
إيه.
gentleman in number 4.
امشي من هنا سمعتني امشي من هنا
Excuse me, monsieur, but this is the last sleeping car. If you are looking for the dining car, it is 2 cars forward.
I thought I'd just take a walk to the end of the train. There is another car after this one, isn't there?
Yes, but it is a private car. Je suis désolé, monsieur.
Pardon me? Pardon me?
Right away, monsieur. Excusez-moi, monsieur.
Pardon me?
أخيراً حد جاي يخدمنا. ما كانش لنا الحق ننده للسواق. نعمل إيه كنا جعانين. نعض بالبطاطين.
انتوا بس عمالين تشتكوا.
Excusez-moi, monsieur.
زي الملوك وكمان مش عاجبكم.
ملوك؟ دي أوحش رحلة رحتها. ده الأورينت إكسبريس ومش قادرين ناكل. كنا نبقى أحسن في الدرجة الثالثة في قطر الدلتا. بعد اللي السلطان دفعوا للتذاكر الواحد يفتكروا إن عايزنا ننبسط.
لما تنبسطوا محدش هيشرب. بس مش عايز اشوفكم في الدور.
Bonsoir, monsieur.
Excuse me. Could you tell me what this paper says?
It's a Russian fairy tale. For children.
Could you translate it for me?
Do you know what a fairy tale is? It's one of the ways the exploiters make the people forget that they're enslaved. For 100 years, Russian peasants have told their children this story of a hero who plucks the tail feather from a firebird. Child goes to bed with an empty stomach and dreams of a hero who will never come.
Sorry I asked.
Le figue de bœuf jardinière.
Thank you.
Will there be anything else, madame? No? Bon appétit.
И соблюдала все заветы нашей церкви.
Да, дядя.
Excuse me, Fräulein Wolf? I could not leave the room without paying you my compliments. I'm sure you do not remember me. My name is August Schmidt.
But I do remember you. It was at Mrs. Lauder's in London, wasn't it?
Yes. You played Brahms' violin concerto.
How lovely of you to remember.
Тебе нравится
And
это
you were
блюдо?
with an English woman.
По-моему, это
Was she
замечательно.
your wife?
Yes, that is... forgive me for interrupting your dinner. May I say that I'm delighted that we are sharing this journey.
You're very kind. Good evening.
Excusez-moi.
Mind if I join you?
That's bold. Is it customary in America to be so forward?
In certain circles, it's not unheard of.
I must have been moving in the wrong circles. I hope you find somewhere to sit.
Deuxième service. Le dîner est servi dans le wagon-restaurant. Dinner is served in the restaurant car. Deuxième service. Le dîner est servi dans le wagon-restaurant. Dinner is served in the restaurant car. Deuxième service.
Excusez-moi.
In the restaurant car. Deuxième service. Deuxième service. Le dîner est servi dans le wagon-restaurant.
Excusez-moi,
monsieur.
Excusez-moi, monsieur, c'est le conducteur.
Sorry, I must have pushed the button by accident.
Very good, monsieur.
Ah, Monsieur Whitney, excusez-moi. His Excellency wishes to receive you in his private car.
His Excellency.
Yes, Monsieur. He's waiting for you. Bonsoir, Monsieur.
Hello. It seems I've been sent for by someone named His Excellency. That wouldn't be you, would it?
What an unexpected pleasure, Mr. Robert Cath.
Usually people call me Tyler Whitney.
You should take care when choosing a name for yourself. Names have power. The most primitive cultures understood this, but of course it will be as you prefer.
Not everyone has the luxury of choosing his own name, Mr.
Kronos. Whether you are Cath or Whitney is a matter of indifference to me. I am prepared to continue the discussions begun by my agent in Paris, provided that you have the peace of which you spoke.
Is Kronos your first name or your last name?
I have no time to continue these delightful discussions of names. I have brought with me a rather heavy briefcase. I would like to know now if the proposed exchange interests you, and if you are capable of completing it.
Not just at the moment, but I have hopes of being able to do so.
In that case, we have nothing further to discuss. I myself must leave the train in Vienna. In case we do not see each other again, I wish you a pleasant journey to Istanbul and continued success in evading the British and French authorities. Have a pleasant evening, Mr. Kath. Kahina will show you out.
ايه انت بتعمل ايه هنا؟
I was just going to make the beds for the night, monsieur.
قلت لك سيبهم في حالهم يا غبي.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
تقطرش. قلت لك امشي من هنا.
I'm very sorry, monsieur. I do not understand.
انا المسؤول عن المكان ده. بالنسبه لك هم مش موجودين خالص. فهمت؟
Forgive me,
تعال
monsieur.
وضب سرير يلا بسرعه.
Yes, monsieur.
Pardon me?
ايوه كده. وخليك فاكر انك تبعد خالص عن الاوضه دي.
Yes, monsieur. I am sorry, monsieur. Have a pleasant night, monsieur.
Excusez-moi, madame.
Pardon me.
Позвольте мне помочь тебе. Осторожно.
Pardon me.
Je ne crois pas, monsieur.
La liste des passagers.
Mais... Monsieur Martins ne vous l'a pas donné?
Mon neveu?
Il m'a dit qu'il vous l'avait donné il y a 1 heure de ça. C'est étrange.
Oh, peut-être c'est une erreur.
Alors il vous l'a donc donné?
Oui, ce que je voulais dire, c'est que je n'avais pas compris qu'il était responsable des 2 listes. Cela explique tout. Merci, Coudet.
De rien, monsieur. Bonsoir, monsieur.
Bonsoir, madame. As-tu oublié quelque chose? C'est que... Vous voulez dire la liste des passagers? Il semble que je l'ai égarée quelque part.
Tu ne la trouves plus? Que veux-tu dire?
Je l'avais laissée ici, à l'intérieur de mon journal. Elle était rangée. J'allais vous la ramener.
Pardon
Je ne
me.
peux pas croire qu'elle soit tombée. J'ai cherché partout.
Et celle de Couder?
Les deux étaient ensemble.
Tyler, ja sam Miloš. Otvori.
Est-ce que tu crois que je vais pouvoir écrire dans mon rapport? Mon neveu n'est qu'un épouvantable paresseux et n'a obtenu son emploi que grâce à moi. Je l'épaule et il perd la liste complète des passagers de 2 wagons couchettes. Ce n'est pas possible. Tu as intérêt à retrouver cette liste avant que nous arrivions à Budapest.
Oui, mon oncle, je suis désolé.
Who are you?
This is my compartment. Who are you?
This is Tyler Whitney's compartment. Where is Tyler?
Ils ne s'en rendent pas compte.
Убийца!
As I was about to say, I didn't kill him.
Who are you?
My name is Robert Kath.
So you are Kath? Tyler spoke of you. He was afraid you were angry with him.
He shouldn't have worried. That was a long time ago. You better tell me what's going on. Tyler had a meeting with someone named August Schmidt. What was that about?
Where's the gold?
What gold? I saw a wooden box in a hell of a mess.
Then we are lost. How can I tell this to the general? I must tell to the others.
What general? What were you and Tyler mixed up in?
You must tell no one about this. No one.
Not even the train conductor?
You've been warned. Tsenaruka, the Black Hand,
Excusez-moi, monsieur.
Očigledno je da je taj čovek ubio Tylera i ukrao
Možete prойти?
Ma ne bre, on je bio Tylerov prijatelj.
Kako si ti lakoveran? Taj čovek razgovara sa tobom sa rukama okaljanim krvlju i kaže ti da je Tylerov prijatelj. Pa naravno, zašto bi te on lagao? Ako je Tyler znao da on dolazi, zašto nam o tome ništa nije rekao?
Excuse
Još
me?
nešto. Ja nisam baš uverena da je Tyler bio tako odan kao što
Pardon me?
ti misliš.
Vesna, prekini!
Bonsoir, monsieur.
Excusez-moi.
Kahina. Monsieur
Est-ce que je
Boudouel?
peux aller au bout du train?
Mais non,
Excuse
François, il est temps d'aller se coucher. Tu iras au bout du train demain.
Bonsoir, madame.
Excusez-moi, monsieur.
Lead him round.
Très bien, madame. Pardon, monsieur.
Pardon me.
These aren't nuances, Sophie. All of Russia may go into revolt.
After a month on the island, you won't think about such things. Listen, why don't you write a play when we get there? Ça pourrait être un chef-d'œuvre. Une de tes amusantes petites pièces, comme celle que tu as écrite sur Réginald. Je serai Ariane et tu seras Théséus. Joséphine sera le Minotaure. Pourtant, tu es tellement têtue que ça devrait être ton rôle.
Joséphine?
Oui, je ne t'ai pas dit? Elle m'a écrit à la dernière minute car elle voulait absolument nous rejoindre. Elle déteste être à l'écart de ce qui se passe. Oh, ne fais pas cette tête-là. Bien sûr, nous serons ensemble. Après tout, on n'est pas des jeunes mariés. On va pas passer tout notre temps à admirer des couchers de soleil.
Excusez-moi, monsieur. Le train entre en gare d'Épernay. Épernay, 5 minutes d'arrêt. Épernay, 5 minutes d'arrêt.
Bonsoir, monsieur.
Le train entre en gare d'Épernay. En gare d'Épernay. Épernay, 5 minutes d'arrêt. Le train entre en gare d'Épernay. Épernay, 5 minutes d'arrêt.
Bonsoir, monsieur.
Le train entre en gare d'Épernay. Épernay, 5 minutes d'arrêt.
Bonsoir, monsieur.
Bonsoir, monsieur. Bonsoir, monsieur.
Plus fine, étrange, j'ai dit. T'es bouché au dur de la feuille.
Pardon, désolé, il n'y a que des carottes.
Espèce d'incapable. Oh, même les choses les plus simples sont trop dures à comprendre pour ta petite tête. Oh, excuse me, monsieur. Step right this way, monsieur. Good evening, monsieur. Que des carottes.
Monsieur,
alors tu
can
penses
I
pas
help
meilleur
you?
que le chef, hein?
Aïe!
Messieurs et mesdames les voyageurs, veuillez retourner à vos places, s'il vous plaît. Il s'agit d'un contrôle de routine. Ladies and gentlemen, please return to your compartments. This is a routine check. Messieurs et mesdames les voyageurs, veuillez retourner à vos places, s'il vous plaît. Il s'agit d'un contrôle de routine.
Ça va?
Pas vraiment. Il y a la police dans ma voiture.
Je sais, mais pourquoi es-tu parti?
Eh bien, si le nous veut leur couper la tête, ce n'est pas mon problème.
Qu'est-ce qu'ils cherchent là?
Vous ne savez pas? Ils ont trouvé un cadavre sur les rails. On l'a jeté d'un train, apparemment. On vérifie tous les compartiments de la voiture et après ce sont la terre.
Qui est mort?
Un étranger. Trois sont pas
Bonsoir, police. Ouvrez s'il vous plaît.
La prise de passagers est complète, il ne manque personne.
Ça, je sais. On connaît un ordre, j'ai fait le travail.
Sur ce train, il se passe toujours quelque
Bonsoir, police. Ouvrez s'il vous plaît.
Einen Augenblick.
C'est la police, madame. Merci, madame. Bonne soirée. Excusez-nous de vous avoir dérangé.
Good evening.
Bonsoir, police. Ouvrez s'il vous plaît. Bonsoir, police. Ouvrez s'il vous plaît.
Qui est-ce?
C'est la police, madame.
Police? Un instant, messieurs. Entrez.
Merci, madame. Bonne soirée. Excusez-nous de vous avoir dérangé.
Je vous en prie.
Bonsoir, police. Ouvrez s'il vous plaît.
Yes.
C'est la police, monsieur.
Un instant, messieurs. Entrez.
Merci, monsieur. Excusez-moi de vous avoir dérangé. Passez une bonne nuit.
Je vous en prie.
Bonsoir, police. Ouvrez s'il vous plaît.
Just a minute. Come in.
Merci, madame. Bonne soirée. Excusez-nous de vous avoir dérangé. Bonsoir, police. Ouvrez s'il vous plaît.
Messieurs, nous avons pris du retard. Nous devons repartir dès maintenant. Restez. Nous n'en avons posé que 23. Nous sommes désolés, messieurs. De toute façon, l'Orient Express se doit d'être rapide. Vous pouvez descendre maintenant ou vous pouvez rester jusqu'à Paris, comme vous voulez. Messieurs et mesdames les voyageurs, le wagon-restaurant est réouvert. Nous vous remercions pour votre patience. Ladies and gentlemen, the restaurant now open.
Would you open the compartment, please?
Of course, mademoiselle.
Thank you.
Oui? Entrez.
Excusez-moi, monsieur. Bonsoir, madame.
Après ce dérangement, je demande une explication.
Bien sûr, madame.
J'ai souvent voyagé dans des grands trains, mon mari est ingénieur, et je vous assure que j'écrirai personnellement au chef de la compagnie afin qu'il...
Bien sûr, madame. Vous avez tout à fait raison, madame. Je vous assure, cette incursion n'était pas prévue. Malheureusement, c'était la police locale. On a bien essayé de leur faire comprendre. Mais vous savez, on est en France.
De quoi s'agit-il alors?
Comme vous avez été tellement patiente, madame, je crois qu'il n'y aurait aucun mal à vous répéter en toute confiance ce qu'ils m'ont expliqué.
Bon, voyons.
Il
Excusez-moi.
Excuse me?
Excusez-moi.
La police pensait qu'il avait été jeté de notre train.
Je l'ai vu. Tais-toi, François. Et alors, ils n'ont rien trouvé?
Rien, madame. Il s'agissait d'une erreur. Il n'y a aucune raison de s'inquiéter.
Mais c'est vrai. Ils l'ont jeté par la fenêtre. Je l'ai vu. François, ne raconte pas d'histoire.
Si vous me permettez, madame, je vais vous laisser.
Merci. Je m'excuse. François, je t'ai dit de ne pas raconter d'histoire. C'est vraiment insupportable.
Excusez-moi, monsieur. Bonsoir, monsieur.
Excusez-moi, monsieur, c'est le conducteur.
Yes, monsieur?
Sorry, I must have pushed the button by accident.
Very good, monsieur.
Comment ça s'est passé?
Aucun problème. Après que je les ai persuadés de quitter les compartiments du harem. Imaginez-vous la scène que cela aurait...
Bonsoir, monsieur.
Yes? Who is it? Sorry, my mistake.
Bonne nuit, monsieur.
Excusez-moi, monsieur.
Why don't you make it sing?
I saw your light. I thought you might be having trouble sleeping.
I had a bad nightmare. It woke me up.
Can I come in?
Why not? Runter, Maxel. Make yourself comfortable. I'm sorry the place is a mess.
Do you always carry a gun on your concert tours?
A woman traveling alone has to be careful.
I would have thought Max was enough protection.
You are not Tyler Whitney. Who are you?
My name is Robert Cath.
What do you want?
Tyler Whitney was a friend of mine.
What's that supposed to mean? Maxel, bleib hier. Sitz.
Как горят их глаза! Они нас не ждали на вокзале. Они вошли через окно.
Здесь никого нет, дедушка.
Как горят они вошли.
Let me through, I'm a doctor.
Слышите, как они поют? Таня, посмотри на его руки. Они покрыты шерстью, черной шерстью. Неужели ты не видишь?
Vasily!
What are you doing? What kind of a doctor are you?
Это я знаю. Ты за мною пришел, убийца. Таня, подай мне нож. Я вырежу его сердце и скормлю волкам.
Дедушка! Oh, don't listen to him. He doesn't know what he's saying.
Vasily Alexandrovich!
Who are you?
Set it down over there.
Mais pour l'amour du ciel, que signifient ces cris? C'est impossible de dormir dans un tel
Brew this in a
vacarme.
tea and give him a cup every 4 hours. Can you do that?
Yes. What on earth is the matter?
Let's clear out. Let him sleep.
Vous avez entendu le docteur. Tout le monde dehors. Il faut le laisser se reposer.
Miss Tatiana, could I speak with you?
Oh, ça c'est rien.
I don't want to frighten you, but I think someone went into my compartment while I was at dinner. No. Would you think I was very silly if I asked you to keep it for me, just until we reach Vienna?
Of course not. I would be glad to.
You mustn't tell anybody. It will be our secret.
Good night, Miss Wolf.
Good night, Mr. Whitney.
Have a good night. Bonjour, monsieur. Bonjour, monsieur.
Pardon me. Miloš, we need to talk.
Pazi, možda je naoružan.
August Schmidt thinks I'm Tyler. I went along with it to keep the game going. Now I want to know what the game is.
Nemoj ništa da mu govoriš.
On je, bre, ženo, Tylerov prijatelj.
Tebi je svako prijatelj.
Come on, sit down. Have you heard of unity or death?
Sure. That's Harvard's motto. Or is it the post office?
Unity or death is a sacred vow. Crna ruka, we have all taken it. Tyler, too.
He always liked that sort of thing.
He gave his life for this. Tyler came to us in the winter. We were hiding in the mountains of Bjelašnica, north of Sarajevo.
Šta se njega tiče gde je Bjelašnica?
A hoćeš ti me ženska glava da pustiš da govorim? When Tyler came, we had no food, no guns, nothing. Tyler brought us guns.
What did Tyler want from August Schmidt?
Tyler was given a mission by the general himself. It was a great treasure that belonged to the Serbian people.
What was it?
It was called the Firebird. I never saw it. Tyler was to sell it for gold to buy the guns from the German. If the German finds out that we have lost the gold, everything is lost. You must tell him that we have the gold and that we want to buy the guns.
Why should I help you cheat August Schmidt?
Cheat him? How can you speak of cheating a German? The Germans are taking our land, the food from our children. We are like slaves in our own land. Tyler understood this. If you betray us, you betray the cause he died for.
It's your cause, not mine.
Da ga ubijem odmah.
Zabranjujem ti, on je bio Tylerov prijatelj.
Ti ćeš ga pustiti da izađe odavde? Ti si veća budala nego što sam mislila.
Oh, by the way, Herr Schmidt mentioned that he was having some merchandise put on the train at Munich. So long. Madame?
Pardon.
Pardon me.
Excusez-moi, monsieur.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Est-ce que vous avez trouvé un passe-partout?
Non. Vous avez perdu votre clé?
Hier soir, pendant la crise du comte Obolensky. Elle est peut-être tombée de ma poche pendant la confusion.
Cette clé ouvre toutes les portes du train. Je ne voudrais pas paraître suspicieux, mais est-il possible que l'un des passagers vous l'ait volée?
C'est difficile à croire. Enfin, qui?
Peut-être l'Américain. Il a l'air d'un fauteur de troupe. Je l'ai souvent vu traîner dans le couloir.
Le docteur?
Il était là, hier soir, dans le compartiment du comte Obolensky. Il y avait tant de monde, il aurait pu profiter de la confusion pour vous la voler.
Il n'y avait pas tant de monde. Juste Madame Wolf et Mademoiselle Tatiana. De toute façon, la clé a disparu. Soyez attentifs.
Très bien, monsieur.
Excuse me.
Good morning. How is your grandfather?
He's sleeping.
Good. Don't forget the tea.
I won't. I want to thank you for what you did. I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't been there.
Has he been ill for long?
I don't know. I've been living in France. Grandfather came to bring me home to Russia. I knew he wasn't well, but if there is anything we can do to repay you, please tell me.
Do you think you could read this?
The Firebird! Oh, it's beautiful! Look at his burning tail! Where did it come from?
It belonged to a friend of mine. What does it say?
It's a poem for children. It's a story about Prince Ivan and the Firebird. If you like, I could write out a translation and give it to you this afternoon.
Thank you, Tatiana.
Excuse me.
К вашему сведению, после нанесенного вами оскорбления с дедушкой случился приступ. По-моему, вы горды тем, что причинили мучения старику.
If Vasily Alexandrovich suffers, it's because of his own guilty conscience. I only spoke the truth.
How dare you!
Мадемуазель Татьяна, вы олицетворяете надменность, присущую вашему классу.
Вы сами выходите из того же класса.
Я? Вряд ли. Во всяком случае, это несущественно. Я посвятил свою жизнь строительству бесклассового общества.
Значит, дедушка был прав? Вы в самом деле либерал?
Я думал, что за 4 года пребывания в Париже вы хоть чему-нибудь научились. Видать, буржуазная система образования готовит девушек лишь для замужества, и вы наверняка были надежно защищены от всего, даже отдаленно напоминающего идею.
Алексей, зачем вы так говорите? В детстве мы каждый день играли у реки. Неужели вы забыли?
Я помню. That time no longer exists. Good day.
Excusez-moi, monsieur.
Excuse me.
Pardon me.
Excusez-moi,
Would you
monsieur.
open my compartment, please?
But of course, mademoiselle. Excuse me, Monsieur Whitney. Bonjour, monsieur.
Here's Schmidt.
What were you writing all morning?
Just my diary.
I thought it must be a novel. You were writing such a long time. When can I read it?
You want to read my diary?
Of course, unless it's a secret.
Well, it is, rather. No one's ever asked me before. I don't know what to say.
I'm just teasing you. It was just to see the look on your face.
Really? Sophie.
You were really funny. You would have thought I was asking to borrow money.
Excuse me, monsieur. That is Count Obolensky's compartment. Yours is in the next sleeping car.
Yes? Who is it?
Sorry, my mistake.
Bonjour, monsieur.
ايوه هو الوحيد اللي بيجي يزورني. عايز حاجه حلوه؟ فاطمه عندك كلام ملابس كتير حلو.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Are you still here? Tell His Excellency I'd like to... Tell him I want to talk to him about the Firebird.
The American, Your Excellency. I believe this time you'll want to speak to him.
Yes. Come in. Make yourself comfortable. Why, thank you, Kahina. I think I will.
Good morning, Mr. Ka. I hope you have good news for me today.
That depends. Do you still want the Firebird?
Do you have it?
What happened to Tyler?
The misadventures of Mr. Whitney and his colleagues are of no interest to me. Let us conclude this transaction quickly. We both have many other things to do. I with my collection, and you with your travels and special interests. Your treatment of Vasily Alexandrovich, for example. Datura stramonium. Very interesting.
It's very simple.
Simple to us, perhaps, but few European doctors would have thought of it. Once in Nigeria, but I digress. Do you have the Firebird?
Not technically.
Then I shall waste no more of your time. I shall look forward to our next meeting, Mr. Kath. He knows nothing. It is as I thought. The Austrian woman has the Firebird.
Forgive me, Your Excellency.
I told you so last night. Why have you not searched her compartment?
The compartment is guarded, Your Excellency, day and night.
Ah, yes. The dog.
I am not afraid, Your Excellency, but if I enter the compartment, that dog will attack me. If Your Excellency wishes, of course.
I understand, Kahina. Several hours remain before Vienna. I will arrange a convenient absence for Miss Wolf, and this animal whose presence seems to make you so uneasy. Then, Kahina, you will find the Firebird.
Yes, Your Excellency.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Le train entre en gare de Munich. Munich. 20 minutes d'arrêt. Munich.
Herr Whitney, soon we will arrive in München. Are you ready to proceed with our agreement?
The answer is yes, Herr Schmidt. Our deal is on.
Your attention, please. Ladies and gentlemen, the Orient Express is now leaving for Vienna, Budapest, Belgrad, Sofia
Bitte sehr vorsichtig sein mit diesem großen Koffer. Der darf um Gottes Willen nicht hinfallen.
Meine Damen und Herren, der Orient Express fährt jetzt in Richtung Wien, Budapest, Belgrad und Konstantinopel ab. Bitte alle einsteigen.
Я вижу, вы все такая же бесстрашная, прежде. Девушка, играете в шахматы как мужчина.
Ваш ход.
Замечательно. Трюк, достойный вашего дела.
Herr Whitney, soon we will arrive in München. Are you...
Я вижу, вы все такая же бесстрашная, прежде. Девушка, играете в шахматы как мужчина.
Ваш ход.
Замечательно. Трюк, достойный вашего деда.
Ну почему вы все время вспоминаете девушку? Ведь вы же со мной играете.
Я вас хорошо играть научил.
I had other teachers since then, Alexei Sergeyevich. I'm not a little girl anymore.
No, you're not.
Naturally, it was a mistake. It has nothing to do with us.
No, of course not. Ridiculous, really. The idea of a murder on the Orient Express. I don't suppose they happened to mention if they'd identified the body.
I believe he was a foreigner, monsieur.
Was he? A foreigner? How interesting. Excuse me, I couldn't help wondering, is that Miss Anna Wolfe that was playing the violin just now?
Yes, monsieur. It is our honor to have Miss Wolfe traveling with us.
How delightful. And the private car in the back, that wouldn't be, His Excellency Prince Kronos now, would it?
Yes, monsieur.
How interesting. They say he hardly travels at all in Europe anymore. Just goes to show you. Huh. I understand Count Obolensky was quite ill during the night.
He's much better today, monsieur. Fortunately, we had a doctor on board.
A doctor? Not a Russian doctor?
No, sir. An American. Monsieur Whitney.
How interesting. Is he actually treating the Count, then?
He has given him a sedative, monsieur.
Sedative?
I believe a sort of herbal tea.
Oh, well, I'm sure he knows what he's doing. Still, it does seem a little irregular. Not that we English see anything wrong with a cup of tea. It can do wonders for an upset stomach. Still, one rather expects to see the usual paraphernalia. A doctor's bag instills confidence and so on. Given the importance of the patient, I mean. I suppose Mr. Whitney is travelling with quite a bit of luggage.
Monsieur?
Oh, you know, so many Americans do.
I cannot say, monsieur.
Must be the fellow I passed just now in the smoking car. Rather young, isn't he, for a doctor?
I believe he's young, yes.
I must say, he didn't look at all like the usual sort of American one expects to see on these trains. You know, flashing money about. Quite the opposite, in fact. Rather unusual for a young fellow like that to book a double compartment, prices being what they are and all that. Wouldn't you say?
I do not know, monsieur.
Well, I suppose he wants his privacy. Nothing wrong with that.
Monsieur, I really must return.
No, of course, of course. Don't let me keep you.
Thank you, monsieur. Au revoir.
Premier service. Premier service. Le déjeuner est servi. Lunch is served. Premier service. Premier service. Le déjeuner est servi. Lunch is served. Premier service.
Excuse me.
Premier service. Premier service. Le déjeuner
Bonjour,
est servi.
monsieur.
Lunch is served.
Oh, excuse me. We seem to be sharing a compartment. No, please don't get up. I'll just sit here and read the paper. Don't mind me at all. It appears the train's quite full. Awful nuisance when you think you've got a compartment to yourself and then they stick a complete stranger in with you at the last minute. Happened to me any number of times. George Abbott.
Claude Boutarel.
French, then, are you? Are you going all the way to Constantinople?
Bonjour, monsieur.
I am traveling to a small town on the Gulf coast of Persia with my wife and son.
Oh, lovely. Then that must be your family I saw next door.
It is most probable.
Excusez-moi, monsieur.
By the way, I was wondering, you haven't seen a red cravat anywhere, have you? I was just unpacking and it seems to have disappeared.
I believe my son has taken it.
Really? What was the name of the town you mentioned?
Masjid et Suleiman.
Of course, the new oil refinery they're building at Abadan. I say, you're not working for Anglo-Persian, are you?
Why not?
Oh, well, I suppose you being a Frenchman, I just assume...
I am an engineer, monsieur. The Anglo-Persian company is doing the most innovative research in oil exploration.
Yes. Well, wouldn't want the Royal Navy to be caught short of fuel oil, would we? Tell me, are the reserves in that little town, what's it called again, really as big as they say?
I cannot offer an opinion, monsieur.
No, of course you wouldn't. Quite brave of your wife to go all that way and live in the desert.
She would not wish to be without me. And it will be a good opportunity for Francois. He has a fine scientific mind.
He seems like a very active little boy. I don't suppose you could ask him for my cravat.
I think now that I remember him using it as a kind of sieve to test salinity in the water. Most remarkable in a boy of 7. Don't you agree?
Quite remarkable.
It is the natural curiosity of the scientific mind, monsieur.
Yes, and all that trapped in the body of a little boy.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Excusez-moi, monsieur.
Le train entre en gare de
L'Europe ne te manquerait pas non plus. C'est un paradis pour ceux qui savent l'apprécier.
Demande donc aux dames des derniers compartiments.
Attention, tu ne veux pas risquer la récompense que tu espères recevoir à la fin du voyage, non?
Récompense? La seule récompense qu'il risque de me donner, c'est de faire de moi son collègue avec son sabre. Allez, bientôt.
Allez, à plus tard. Bonjour, monsieur.
Excuse me, sir.
Also, you know, I can carry my violin anywhere I go.
The piano is a little bit more difficult.
C'est vraiment Je veux à tout prix parler au chef de
Est-ce que c'est elle assise avec le gros monsieur?
Anyway, you make it sound so mysterious.
François, je
I'm
t'ordonne de
afraid
manger.
you would find it very boring, but without going into detail, I will say that my work here is not only commerce, and that in my own small way, I'm doing my part for the
Good
fatherland.
afternoon.
Monsieur, welcome. Please follow me. We have a nice table for you right here in the corner.
Thank you.
Enjoy your lunch, monsieur.
Yes, monsieur.
The escalope. That's a sort of veal cutlet, isn't it?
L'escalope de veau. Yes, monsieur.
Well, I'll have that. Well done, please.
Very good, monsieur.
Mind if I join you?
No, by all means. I don't believe we've been introduced. George Abbott.
Tyler Whitney.
What foul weather. Can't seem to get out of this storm. It must be raining all across Europe. Quite remarkable, really. I understand you've made friends with the Obolenskis. You must introduce me. I'm fascinated by Russia. That was quite a scare you had last night. The chef de train told me you handled it quite well. You didn't happen to notice whether the other Russian fellow, what's his name, the young fellow, was hanging about?
I don't recall seeing him.
I'm afraid the old man has quite lost his head. Still, he has played a role for years as a sort of informal ambassador for the Tsar, if you know what I mean. I didn't know you were a doctor.
And you?
Oh, I'm travelling on business. Every now and then the company has a little matter to take care of on the continent, so off I go. Isn't she enchanting? That violinist, Miss Wolfe, she seems to be getting on rather well with Herr Schmidt. Not her type, I would have thought. Rather a surprise to see Herr Schmidt here. One would think he'd have his hands full back in Germany, what with his factories stepping up production and all that. Such an industrious people, the Germans. I wonder what business he has in the East. But you haven't told me a thing about yourself. Will you be going far?
All the way to Constantinople.
Oh, how lovely. Business or pleasure?
Actually, I'm traveling for my health.
Yes, so nice to get away from one's troubles, assuming one has any. New climates, new horizons and all that. Of course, I don't need to tell you that, you being a doctor. Quite a coincidence your being a doctor, and an American, I mean. When I boarded at Munich, the police were looking for an American doctor who'd got away from the police in Paris. Apparently he's mixed up with those Irish fanatics, Home Rule and all that, the ones that killed that policeman. Papers were full of it. Anyhow, it seems that this young doctor is in quite a bit of trouble.
Don't believe everything you read in the papers.
No, but I do. It's so much more fun that way. Still, it's none of my concern. I say, that jacket looks a bit short in the arms. Was it a French tailor who took it in for you?
I think I'll go check on the Oblinskis.
Yes, of course. Look forward to seeing you again. What a pleasant fellow.
В университете мы все говорили, договорили. Разговорами сыт не будешь. Words are lost in the air like the sound of church bells. A single deed is better propaganda than 1,000 pamphlets.
Замечательные слова. Ваш ход.
Mr. Abbott.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Bonjour, monsieur. Bonjour, monsieur.
Pardon me?
Bonjour, monsieur.
Разговоры о политических партиях. Это все делается правящим классом для показухи. Всякое правительство рабства. Все они стоят одно другого.
Ваш ход. Ну вот вы все развалили, а подумали вы о том, что будет возведено взамен?
Ничего не понадобится возводить взамен тирании. Как только частная собственность будет упразднена, все люди станут равными и свободными. Новое мирное общество образуется само по себе.
Вы так и не сделали?
Fräulein Wolf, it is a privilege to meet so talented an artist. My name is Kronos.
Your Excellency, you do me a great honor.
My car is equipped with a piano. I wonder if you would do me the favor of joining me in a duet. It will help pass the time on this rather long journey.
What a splendid idea!
Shall we say 3 o'clock?
I shall count the minutes until then. Good day.
Is it very tiresome, your business in Vienna?
Oh, well, you know, you always hope that a man will keep his word when he does not. One hates to lose a good bit of business, but man kann nicht anders.
Also dann kommt Ihr Geschäft nicht zustande? Ist es abgesagt?
Excusez-moi, monsieur.
Pardon me.
I too studied music.
Excusez-moi.
Hé, petit, viens voir.
Tu me le donnes?
Non. Je l'ai trouvé. Il est à moi. Pardon me?
On échange.
D'accord. Si tu veux.
Il dort maintenant. Il ne marche plus.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Ah, Herr Whitney. The merchandise has been loaded onto the train. I have fulfilled my part of the bargain. I want to see the gold.
Our agreement included delivery of the arms in Belgrade. We're not in Belgrade yet.
Herr Whitney, since I boarded this train, I have begun to feel that things are not as they should be. If you cannot reassure me, I intend to get off in Vienna and take my merchandise with me. Guten Tag!
Schmidt, can we talk?
Unless you can show me the gold, there is nothing to talk about. Good day.
Conductor! Excusez-moi, monsieur. Excusez-moi, monsieur.
Excusez-moi.
Pardon me?
Excusez-moi,
Would you
monsieur.
open my compartment, please?
But of course, mademoiselle. Excusez-moi, madame. Oui, madame.
Cette fois-ci, ça suffit. Il faut faire quelque chose avec ce chien.
Je suis désolé, madame. Madame a été dérangée?
Les odeurs, les aboiements, c'en est trop. Un chien de petite taille, peut-être. Un caniche serait supportable. Mais un monstre pareil, et avec un petit garçon dans le compartiment voisin.
Je suis terriblement désolé, madame.
Excusez-moi,
J'assisterai auprès de madame Wolf pour qu'elle surveille son chien.
Mais non, voyons, vous savez bien que c'est impossible. Ce chien devait être en cage, dans la soute à bagages, tout simplement. Je dois dire que je suis très surprise qu'une compagnie aussi respectable satisfasse avec tant d'indulgence les caprices de créatures excentriques, d'artistes, au point d'ignorer ses clients les plus respectables. Je pensais avoir acheté un billet pour un train de grand luxe, pas un ticket pour le cirque.
Je comprends, madame. Votre opinion est entièrement justifiée. Je vais en parler au chef de train immédiatement.
Je souhaite que vous fassiez plus que lui parler. Je souhaite vivement que cet animal soit expulsé des voitures-lits. M'avez-vous comprise?
Oh oui, madame.
Madame Boutarel?
Excusez-moi, monsieur. Qu'est-ce que je peux faire pour vous?
Je suis désolé, mais l'une des passagères s'est plainte du compagnon de voyage de madame Wolf. Pour être plus précis, madame Boutarel.
C'est très gênant. Vous n'avez pas réussi à l'amadouer.
C'est délicat. Vous comprenez, madame Boutarel et son mari ne sont pas invités au concert de madame Wolf. Rien n'est pire qu'une femme vexée. Et je crois bien qu'elle ne soit pas prête à abandonner.
Dommage. Les règles sont les règles. Annoncer la triste nouvelle à madame Wolf et emmener son chien dans le compartiment à bagages.
Moi, monsieur?
Oui, vous. Pourquoi? Vous avez peur des chiens?
Non, 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 monsieur. J'adore les animaux.
Alors c'est très bien. Faites pour le mieux. Et surtout, présentez nos excuses à madame Wolf. Souvenez-vous qu'elle est l'une de nos meilleures clientes. Elle a voyagé dans ce train plus souvent que vous.
Je le sais, monsieur.
Excusez-moi, monsieur. Excusez-moi, monsieur.
Pardon me.
Yeah, there's Doc.
C'est le conducteur, madame.
Come in.
Excusez-moi, madame. Je suis vraiment désolé. But we have received a complaint about the barking.
Oh no.
Of course, for you we have always made an exception. But now that a passenger has complained...
Must he go to the baggage car?
The passenger has insisted, madame. What can I do?
Just a moment. Oh, mein Kleiner, sei nicht traurig. Es wird dir schon gut gehen im Gepäckwagen. Komm her, mein Schatz. Oh.
Forgive me, madame.
We'll make sure he has plenty of water. He really doesn't like the baggage car.
Of course, madame. You are kind. I'm very, very sorry.
Excusez-moi. Excusez-moi. Excusez-moi.
Good dog. Good doggy. Excuse me, Monsieur Whitney. Monsieur, what are you doing here?
Tu es le pire des apprentis que j'ai jamais vu. C'est incroyable qu'on te laisse travailler à bord de l'Orient Express.
Je m'excuse.
Je trouverais un meilleur ouvrier que toi dans n'importe quelle brasserie à Paris.
Ah oui, mais par exemple, là, le couteau, il est pas aiguisé.
Eh ben justement, qu'est-ce que t'attends pour l'aiguiser?
Tous?
Bah bien sûr tous. Oh, excuse me, monsieur. Step right this way, monsieur. Good evening, monsieur. Que des carottes. Alors tu penses être meilleur que le chef, hein?
Aïe!
Les apprentis de nos jours. Si j'avais été aussi maladroit et incompétent que toi, on m'aurait jeté du train en marche.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Excusez-moi, monsieur. Ah, Monsieur Whitney. Prince Kronos wishes to invite you to a concert in his private car. Madame Wolf will play the violin.
And he wants me to be there.
Oh yes, monsieur. 3 o'clock. His Excellency was most eager that you should attend. Bonjour, monsieur.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Vels, 15 minutes d'arrêt. Le train entre en gare de Vels. Vels, 15 minutes d'arrêt.
Name de Breteuil. He thinks to invite the noblesse to make himself important. That's why he does not invite some petit bourgeois like the Boutarel. But he invites the Comte Oblansky, who he does not know.
Then you don't think we should accept?
Why not? It will be less boring than listening to Madame Boutarel.
Did I tell you what she said to me this morning? Apparently the reason she and her husband aren't sharing a compartment is that their little boy is. Excuse me.
Tu reviens?
Yes, I will be a minute.
Bon, d'accord. Je t'attends.
Excuse me, got a light?
Je ne parle pas l'anglais, monsieur.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Excusez-moi, monsieur.
Excusez-moi. Jacques, sperr uns doch bitte die Tür zu, während ich weg bin.
Excusez-moi.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Who is it?
Excusez-moi. Je m'excuse.
Excuse me. Pardonnez-moi, madame.
Pardonnez-moi.
Would you lock my compartment, please?
Of course, mademoiselle.
Thank you.
Tatiana?
Excuse me.
Has my grandfather?
He has been quiet, mademoiselle. I looked in about an hour ago. He was sleeping.
Ах, так это вы мне приснились. Не берите. Может быть, она у вас запоет.
Just a minute. How did you get in there?
Shh. Monsieur Oblinsky is asleep. He mustn't be disturbed.
Yes, monsieur.
It's easy for you to say that now. Now that I have nothing to go back to.
That's not my fault.
We weren't talking like that in London.
Non, c'est Londres. Ici, c'est ici. I don't know why I feel something one day and not another.
Excusez-moi, monsieur.
But I won't pretend I feel it when I don't. Je ne suis pas comme toi.
No one's feelings can change that fast.
Well, mine do.
You can't treat people as if they were your toys. There are consequences, you know. I've given up a lot to come on this trip.
I don't care about the things you give up. For me, that's nothing. What you give to me, what you make me feel, that's what I care about.
You won't give me a chance.
Ah, toi, tu parles toujours de sacrifices, de conséquences, d'obligations. Je m'en fiche, moi. Si j'avais voulu tout ça, j'aurais épousé Philippe. Au moins, ça aurait eu des avantages.
Excuse me, monsieur Whitney. Bonjour, monsieur.
Bonjour, mademoiselle.
Well, you know, in such a moment, there is no time to be
I'm sorry, my
afraid.
grandfather's been gone.
Yes.
Oh, he's not feeling very well.
We're
surrounded by
before
enemies.
I was married.
Oh,
It looks like they are starting.
no, it's
Shall we
better
sit
if I
down?
stand.
May I sit here?
This way I can
This is
see
really
what I'm
delightful.
thinking.
Miss Tatiana,
Yes,
are you
that's
comfortable there?
Thank you.
Oh, Count Oblensky is still not feeling well? A pity. They are starting.
Pardon me?
Au lieu d'y aller, on fait la grève générale.
S'ils mobilisent, oui.
Et comme ça, il n'y aura pas de guerre.
Évidemment. Sans les ouvriers, il n'y aurait pas de guerre. Il n'y aurait pas de chemin de fer, il n'y aurait pas
Voilà
d'usine.
le problème. Si nous, les Français, on fait la grève et les Allemands la font pas, que se passera-t-il?
Attends un moment.
Mais rien, c'est là le problème. Laissez-moi parler de courage.
Attends, tu simplifies toujours les choses. Évidemment qu'on parle d'un mouvement international.
C'est dommage qu'on ne soit pas venu dans ce Sorel. J'aimerais bien lui poser la question personnellement.
Dear friend, last night my seductress allowed me to sit by the side of her bed for a long while and brush her hair. How happy I was. Her embrace pulls me into a dream, far away from my old, upholstered world. At last, und vrai wie ein Team, in this fragile, rattling old box racing into the future.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Dear friend, last night my seductress allowed me to sit by the side of her
I'll
bed
just
for a
stretch my
long
legs for a bit. Excuse me.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Ah, Monsieur Whitney. They have already started, but please, go ahead.
Thanks.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Pardon me?
Bonjour, monsieur. Excuse me, monsieur. That is Count Obolensky's compartment. Yours is in the next sleeping car. Bonjour, monsieur.
Monsieur, can I help you?
Yes, I wanted to get something out of my suitcase.
The baggage car is off limits to passengers. Suitcases cannot be opened during the journey.
Not even by you?
The baggage compartment is sealed, monsieur. In this way, passengers on the Orient Express are spared the inconvenience of customs checks. Now, I really must invite you to return to the passenger car.
Monsieur, the baggage car is off limits. Please, return to the dining car. Excusez-moi, monsieur.
Pardon me.
Monsieur, can I help you?
Excusez-moi.
مين هنا؟
My dear Baron, since you have asked me to put pen to paper only if absolutely necessary, it is with the utmost discretion that I write to inform you of a new development. Simply put, the agent in question, whom I shall not name, appears unable to pay the agreed upon sum. I'm therefore compelled to cancel the transaction. I hope that you will consider that my decision was correct and that you will give me another chance to perform such a splendid service for our fatherland. Your loyal friend and servant, August Schmidt.
madame, excusez-moi.
Excuse me.
Bonjour, madame. Bonjour, madame. Monsieur, excuse me. That is not your compartment.
Entschuldigung. Entschuldigen Sie bitte.
Conductor,
would you unlock my compartment, please?
Right away, monsieur.
Herr Schmidt?
There
Not
you
now.
are, monsieur.
Wait 5 minutes.
Is everything all right?
Everything is fine. Thank you.
Pardon me?
Mr. Whitney, I was wondering if you would come. Ah, yes, yes.
Not so fast, Herr Schmidt. We're not in Belgrade yet.
Bonjour, madame.
I guess this means His Excellency would like to see me.
You know, he really has a way of making people feel wanted. Is this how he persuaded Miss Wolf to join him in a duet?
You talk a great deal for a man who knows so little.
Tell him I'll be there.
Bonjour, madame, excusez-moi.
Conductor, would you lock my door, please?
I am disappointed. I would have gladly let you keep this gold. If only you had seen fit to bring me the other. It would have saved us so much time.
Maybe.
What is it you want, Mr. Whitney?
Tyler Whitney is dead. I want to know who killed him and why.
You are on your way to Jerusalem, are you not?
How did you know that?
Knowledge is more precious than gold and rarer than rubies. If knowledge is the coin in which you wish to be paid, I could tell you many things about yourself and that ring you wear, for example. But the question you ask, that question I cannot answer.
Then I'll be on my way.
Not yet. I'm afraid you owe me some slight favor for having helped yourself to my luggage. That scarf in his breast pocket, get it, please. Yes. Thank you, Mr. Kampf. I shall keep it as a souvenir until our next encounter.
monsieur. Excusez-moi, monsieur.
My friend, it's a miracle. You have paid for our guns.
Now, wait a minute.
Now I understand you. You say you don't help us, but then you help. You're like a Slav. You are one of us.
Le train arrivera à Vienne dans 1 heure.
Pardon me?
Vienne. Excusez-moi, madame. Messieurs et mesdames les voyageurs, le train arrivera à Vienne dans 1 heure. Vienne.
Well,
excuse me.
My French is
Pardon me?
Never was, wasn't it? Perhaps I'll just take a walk up to the smoking.
Pardon me?
Ja, wer ist da? What is it? What's
Come in.
wrong?
It's good you're here. We have many plans to make.
Your plans are your business. I want to talk about Tyler. I want to know who you think killed him.
Sit down. Let's have a drink.
Don't worry, it's not your fault.
I will tell you. When we left Paris, I feel there was something wrong with the Tyler. To me, he says nothing, but he was like a frightened man, always looking over his shoulder.
That's not like Tyler. I thought there was something wrong in his letter.
I tell you, he was afraid of something. There was a shadow on him. When I look into his eyes, they're the eyes of death.
There were marks on his face. 3 lines, like a knife.
It was none of my men. I love Tyler like he was my brother. If I find out who killed him, I will tear him apart in my own hands. Drink.
It's a little early in the day for that. I'll see you later, Milos. Why don't you come in? You'll be able to hear better. Mind if I join you?
Of course. Cigar? The best Havana.
No thanks.
Americans don't know how to have pleasure. How can there be a life of the spirit if the body is not fed?
How's Fräulein Wolf?
I shall dine with her this evening.
Tell me, August, how did a spiritual person like yourself end up as a munitions maker?
You would find that quite difficult to understand. Unlike you, Herr Whitney, I'm not motivated only by gold. I'm always thinking of the higher interest of my fatherland.
Where does the fatherland's interest lie in arming a band of Serbian terrorists?
Terrorists? You surprise me. I had thought you would at least keep up the pretense of sympathy with the group that is paying you.
I never said I wasn't sympathetic. I said they were terrorists. And you haven't answered my question. The last time I looked at a newspaper, Serbia was allied to Russia and France.
Your question is not a bad one. I leave it to you to find the answer.
Excuse me, I couldn't help noticing you're by yourself. Mind if I join you?
Please.
Normally one doesn't go about introducing oneself to complete strangers, but we lone travellers are a sort of fellowship, aren't we? George Abbott, Empire Chemicals.
My name is August Schmidt.
Not the August Schmidt. The rising young industrialist? A.B. Schmidt & Co., munitions, transport, artillery? One of the stars of the new German industry? I must say I'm very pleased to meet you.
You embarrass me, sir. It is true, we do quite a bit of business in England.
Yes, wasn't it your firm that just shipped, I believe it was 40,000 rifles and 1 million cartridges into Ulster?
No, that was not us.
Oh, I must be thinking of a different German firm. One of your competitors, perhaps. Whoever it is, they must be feeling rather disappointed. It doesn't look like we're in for a civil war after all. Not this week, anyway.
Oh, these troubles in Ireland. It is unfortunate.
Yes, it's awful. But really, sir, I must congratulate you. The recent industrial growth in Germany. most impressive.
Really?
Oh, yes. Our English businessmen could stand to learn a few things from entrepreneurs like yourself. All this political posturing aside, I really feel we're witnessing the birth of a new Europe, where business is the true international language. And the Orient Express, really quite remarkable if you stop to think about it. Here we are, we've just crossed from Germany into Austria, and not so much as a customs check to let you know we've crossed the border. Now that's the new Europe. Another year or two and frontiers will be a mere formality, a relic of the past. We'll be able to travel from England to Germany as easily as going from one end of London to the other.
You would not believe sometimes the troubles I have to explain to my people. I need to keep up with what is happening abroad, to act quickly when the opportunity presents.
Oh, I assure you, half the time, Home Office thinks I'm just travelling on a lark. Old-fashioned attitude, of course.
Yeah, still I do find myself sometimes quite tired in the evening. My father had a small factory. He never left his little town. He was perhaps not much of a businessman, but at the end of the day, he would sleep in his own bed, and he would be at peace. I sometimes wonder if we have really gained so much.
I couldn't help noticing you with Miss Wolfe at lunch. You made quite a striking pair. May I ask if you've known her long?
Long? Well, you know, I'm a great admirer of her music.
Aren't we all? But you seem to have a special connection with her. Am I wrong? Come on, you can speak freely. We're all gentlemen here.
In that case, I will admit that traveling has its compensations.
Oh. You can trust me, I won't breathe a word. Soul of discretion. By the way, what do you make of this Austro-Hungarian ultimatum? It looks like a rather nasty business.
The note is harsh, but I believe necessary. These Balkan regions have always needed a strong hand to bring stability.
Stability, yes. That's just where we must stand together. Of course, we all have our little differences, but I can't help feeling that at some fundamental level, the goals of England and Germany are not so very far apart.
I'm glad to hear you say it.
But do tell me, I'd be quite fascinated to know, how did you begin your career?
Well, it's really a very simple story.
believe you have my key. Could I have it back, please?
That's enough guns for today. Tell me, when you killed Tyler, was that part of the job, or was that your own idea?
I don't know what you mean.
You don't know you work for the Austrian secret police? Or you don't know you killed Tyler?
But I didn't kill him.
They sent you to break up Tyler's arms deal. You killed him and you stole the gold egg he was carrying.
I didn't. It wasn't me. I've never killed anyone. I swear it. I'd met Tyler Whitney once in New York. I recognized him at the station. Once we were moving, I came and knocked. The door was open, so I let myself in. And there was blood all over.
The egg!
It was sitting on the table by the window. I took it, but I didn't kill him. The first time I saw you, calling yourself Tyler Whitney, I thought you killed him.
Anna, look out!
Keine Bewegung.
Let her go.
Vienna. I have to go now. Guten Tag. Nur eine gelbe Rose, bitte.
Eine schöne gelbe Rose für Sie, gnädiges Fräulein.
Dankeschön.
Bitte schön.
Ja, auf geht's, immer.
Extrablatt, Extrablatt. Holen Sie Ihre Nachmittagszeit. Serbien antwortet Österreich. Extrablatt, Extrablatt. Holen Sie Ihre Nachmittagszeit. Serbien antwortet Österreich.
Premier service, le dîner est servi dans le wagon-restaurant. Dinner is served in the restaurant car. Premier service, le dîner est servi dans le wagon-restaurant. Dinner is served in the restaurant car. Premier service. Wagon-restaurant. Dinner is served in the restaurant car.
Jacques, I've got the most awful headache. Would you tell Herr Schmidt I won't be having dinner with him tonight?
Of course, madame. Can I bring you anything?
No, I'm just tired.
Bien, madame. I hope you can get some rest tonight.
Danke, Jacques.
I was afraid you'd gotten off in Vienna.
In Vienna? Why should I?
I don't know, but I'm glad to see you.
The journey will be over soon enough.
So, what happens to August Schmidt now?
He will find the police waiting for him in Budapest. The guns will be discovered and confiscated.
I see. A job well done. You must be very proud of yourself.
You want to talk. Is smuggling guns your idea of an honorable profession?
Is that my profession?
It's like a game to you, taking sides. Today you help the Bosnians, tomorrow the English. Do you want to know why Tyler died? I'll tell you. For 1,000 years, people have been killing each other over the Balkans. It's not about to stop for one American. Our history is a chain of blood. It reaches deep into the past, it binds us, and it has nothing to do with you. Tyler is dead, you can't bring him back. Why don't you go home before the same thing happens to you?
Tyler was my friend. Maybe that word doesn't mean much to you. To me, when a friend asks for help, and you get there too late, you don't leave it at that.
Go away, please.
Excusez-moi, madame.
Ja u to ne verujem. Već u svim novinama. Austrija i Srbija su prekinule odnose.
In the restaurant car. Excusez-moi, madame.
Bonsoir, monsieur. Bonsoir, madame.
Ну вот вы все развалили. А подумали вы о том, что будет возведено взамен?
Ничто не понадобится возводить взамен тирании. Как только частная собственность будет упразднена, все люди станут равными, свободными. Новое, мирное общество образуется само по себе.
И каким же образом вы планируете упразднить частную собственность?
В революции, разбив вдребезги эту мерзкую систему. Это единственный выход.
Bonsoir, monsieur. Bonsoir, monsieur. Bonsoir, monsieur.
Bonsoir, monsieur.
Зачем русскому рабочему воевать со своим немецким братом? Ведь мы же все одинаковы. Простые люди всегда проливают свой кровь в помощь начатых правительствами. Мы же как овцы, ведомые на бойню.
Bonsoir, monsieur. Bonsoir, monsieur.
Зачем русскому рабочему воевать со своим немецким братом? Ведь мы же все одинаковы. Простые люди всегда проливают свою кровь в войнах, начатых правительствами. Мы же как овцы, ведомые на бойню.
Я не могу. Не могу уйти от дедушки.
Из-за таких людей, как ваш дед, Россия откатилась на сотни лет назад.
Дедушка не такой уж плохой человек.
There is good and bad in every man, Tatiana. But Vasily Obolensky is one of the most evil products of the most evil system ever invented by men on earth.
Вы себя послушали.
Если бы вы слышали то, что я слышал. Если бы вы видели то, что я видел своими глазами, Татьяна, вы сами, взяв нож вашего деда, зарезали бы его спящего.
Я не желаю этого выслушивать. If you hate my grandfather so much, then you must also hate me.
Татьяна!
Послушайте себя. Убийство, голод. Вы говорите, что ненавидите войну, но ведь вы же еще хуже других.
Нет. Что значит потерять одну жизнь, сотни жизней ради спасения миллионов?
Как же быть со всеми остальными? Они же ни в чем не виноваты.
Те, кто путешествует на Восточном экспрессе, не могут быть ни в чем не виноватыми. What do the victims matter? It's the meaning of the act that counts.
Bonsoir, monsieur.
Pozzoni. Le train arrive en gare de Pozzoni. 3 minutes d'arrêt.
I say, I think you've got the wrong compartment.
Looks like we both got the wrong compartment.
Bonsoir, monsieur. Bonsoir, monsieur.
Bonsoir, monsieur.
Pardon me?
It's the conductor to make your bed, monsieur.
Good evening. I saw you in the dining car, but I didn't want to bother you. Did you enjoy your dinner?
Dinner was satisfactory, yes.
Must be delightful to be able to dine with your family every night. That's the worst part about traveling. All those meals alone.
Tatiana?
Loneliness rather gets to you after a while.
My problem is the opposite one, monsieur.
Oh, yes.
Have
Well,
a
I
good
can
night.
see that. Really? Interesting.
Quiet.
It's the conductor to make your bed, madame.
Pardon me?
Conductor, would you unlock my compartment, please?
Of course, monsieur. There you are, monsieur. Is everything all right?
Everything is fine, thank you.
It's the conductor to make your bed, monsieur.
Just a minute.
Un moment, s'il vous plaît.
Bonne nuit, monsieur.
Pardon me. Pardon me?
Excusez-moi, monsieur. Right away,
Pardon me?
monsieur.
Dîner est servi dans le
Good
wagon
night,
restaurant.
monsieur. Sleep well.
Dinner
Good night,
is
monsieur
served in
Whitney.
the
Sleep well.
restaurant car.
Monsieur, may I speak to you?
Of course, come in.
You were so kind to my grandfather. I don't know how to begin.
Is he worse?
No, it's Alexei. He has asked me to get off the train at Budapest and run away with him.
What did you say?
What do you think I said? My grandfather's ill. How can I leave him? It would be wrong, wouldn't it?
Alexei is a romantic. You know what they say. A romantic is someone who spends his life looking for a good way to die.
When I told him no, he started saying wild things. He said I'm his only connection to the world, and that if I won't go with him, his life means nothing. You don't know him. I really think he might do something crazy. He wanted to kill my grandfather with a bomb. He would have blown up the train and killed dozens of innocent people.
A bomb? What kind of bomb?
He made it himself. He's been planning it for weeks. Of course I talked him out of it. But now I'm afraid I don't know what he will do. I love him so.
I'll see what I can do.
Would you? Oh, thank you, monsieur. Thank you.
Excusez-moi, monsieur.
Yes, monsieur.
Some brandy, please. Your best. With 2 glasses.
Très bien, monsieur.
Le train entre en gare de Galantin.
Galanta, 5 minutes d'arrêt. Galanta. Le train entre en gare de Galanta. Le train entre en gare de Galanta.
Your brandy, monsieur.
Thank you. You may leave the bottle.
Très bien, monsieur.
Herr Whitney, have a drink. It helps make the journey shorter.
Thanks.
I have misjudged Fräulein Wolf. There is no other explanation. Again and again I ask myself, could I have imagined it? A fantasy? A romantic dream? But then I remember the way she looked at me, the warmth of her eyes, and I know I was not mistaken. Something has changed her.
Well, August, she is an artist.
An artist? Yes. When I return to Munich, she shall play for me. She will perform at my house. Let me fill your glass, Herr Whitney. You at least have not disappointed me. Yes, yes. She will play for me. It will be a wonderful evening. You will be there too, Herr Whitney. And Kronos and the Oblenskis, we shall all be together in a big gold room. And she will play. And we will dance. Dance, dance, dance. Oh, Mutter, der Max, der Max, der Max hat Beine wie Max, wie Max, wie Max. La da 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 da, dum dum da da, la la la, dum 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 dum. Life is short, everything. Let's dance together.
Pardon.
Pardon me.
Excusez-moi, madame. Excusez-moi, monsieur.
Excusez-moi, monsieur.
Excusez-moi, madame.
Don't answer it.
I have to.
Василий Александрович, это наша с вами прощальная встреча.
Нет! Дедушка! Осторожно! Он хочет тебя убить!
Нет, это ошибка, вы не поняли.
Исполнителю его воли на земле, батя, произойдет покушение на мою жизнь. Убийцы следовали за мной из самой России. Я не боюсь смерти. Я всегда следовал заветам нашей церкви, регулярно принимал участие, постился. Я служил Господу нашему Иисусу Христу и исполнителю его воли на земле, батюшки. Когда я умру, святые защитят меня и приведут к ногам Господа нашего, который простит мне прегрешения.
Look here, we'll be in Budapest. My company has a pretty good understanding with the Austro-Hungarian authorities. I think if you let me speak to them first, I can explain what happened here and get this mess cleared up without a lot of fuss. No need to splash it all over the papers. Reputation of the line to think of and all that. There's a good fellow.
Kath, have come across something exceptional. More your line than mine. Depart.
I say, well done. Now how about that drink?
Excusez-moi, monsieur.
Excuse me, sir.
Cognac, please.
Pardon me.
Very good, madame.
Thank you.
There you are. What a nasty business. Oh well, good job it's over. Saves me a bit of trouble. Cheers.
Saves you trouble? How?
Oh well, the word went out that one of those anarchist chaps was travelling on the express precisely in order to blow up that poor old fellow Obolensky. So the company sent me along to see if I could spot him and nip things in the bud, you see, before any unpleasantness. Fact is, for a while I wasn't sure if it was him or you.
Me?
Well, travelling without a ticket, assumed name and all that, you can see why I might have wondered. No hard feelings, I hope?
No hard feelings.
Good job you finding that bomb. I wonder, have you ever considered doing a bit more work in this line?
What line?
Surely a man of your perception must realize that Europe is on the brink of war. Britain and America have certain common interests. An American who knows his way about, cool head in a tight spot. Frankly, we could use a fellow like you.
Your English police seem to have a different opinion.
Oh yes, that awkward business with that Irish policeman. As a matter of fact, I've looked into that. You know, you really shouldn't have helped that fellow, even if he was wounded. Our police tend to take it rather to heart when a policeman is killed. But in this case, I think there may have been a bit of a misunderstanding. Guilt by association, if you see what I mean. Fact is, you're a doctor, Hippocratic oath and all that. I think we can clear this business up fairly easily, assuming we want to.
You mean assuming you want to?
This isn't the first time you've come to our attention, Mr. Cath. We never have known quite what to make of you. Some of us were of the opinion that you were rather a loose cannon, like your friend Mr. Whitney. Unfortunate what happened to him. Me, I've always felt that when push came to shove, you'd turn out to be one of our sort. What do you think?
I'm sorry, Abbott. I've never been much of a joiner.
Just remember, the offer is open. The world is changing and one does need to choose sides. And sometimes things change so fast that it's hard to tell one side from the other. But as I hate to say it, sometimes these situations do come down to a for us or against us sort of problem, if you see what I mean.
I'll remember that. Excuse me. Hannah.
I'm very tired. Please let me go. Why are you following me? There's so much I want to say. It's just that I am tired. You can't imagine how tired I am. We'll talk in the morning. Good night.
Come in.
Something's wrong. We're not stopping.
اذهب أيها الملعون!
Take off your sash! You could have taken off the sash first. We're almost to the border. We've got to stop the train.
Why?
Why? Once we're in Serbia, they'll kill us.
And if we stop before the border?
The terrorists will be captured by the Austrian police.
Along with the arms.
Yes.
You're being used. You and August Schmidt.
What do you mean?
Germany and Austria want war. All they need is an incident to set it off, like Sarajevo. Sarajevo wasn't enough, but crates of machine guns captured in the hands of Serbian terrorists. Now that could start a war. Anna, how do you think your superiors knew about the arms sale? Schmidt's been set up. Germany wanted this deal to happen, and they wanted it blown wide open. By you. Anna, wait!
Srpske seljačići nisu bili velika prepreka.
Monsieur, I beg you, stop this madness. The lives of these passengers, they are innocent people.
Slow down. You're wasting your breath.
You are not one of the bandits.
The bandits are dead. All but one.
Where is he?
He's running the train.
Ladies, gentlemen, if you would all please move out of the dining car and return to the sleeping car.
Was ist hier los? I demand to be told what's happening.
Monsieur, please, it is for your own safety. Your Excellency, may I escort you back to your compartment?
My granddaughter and I are traveling to Constantinople.
and from Constantinople to Odessa.
Yes, of course. But won't you be more comfortable in the sleeping car with the rest of the passengers?
Those passengers will never arrive in Constantinople.
Listen, why don't you go and see to the other passengers? I'll stay a bit and try to look after things.
Mesdames et messieurs, s'il vous plaît, restez calmes et restez dans vos compartiments.
Татьяна.
Она не слышит вас. Бедный мой мотылек. Скоро ты будешь дома, в большом доме, понад речкой. Ничто не изменилось. Все там как прежде. Как ты помнишь, все встретят нас. Дарья Филипповна, старая твоя няня Агафья Михайловна, даже старый Иоганн. Помнишь Иоганна?
Они умерли. Все умерли.
Жар-птица.
Now I see. You think you can hijack this train and get my merchandise without paying for it?
August, let me tell you something. Fräulein Wolf is a spy. Your friends back in Germany set you up to get caught smuggling arms.
Fräulein Wolf? A spy? And me? August Schmidt? Betrayed? This cannot be. Tyler Whitney! We will meet again!
Oh, and there's one more thing. My name isn't Whitney. It's Cath. Robert Cath.
What?
My name is Robert Cath.
You won't make it. You're another Slav. This I understand. But how can you help the Austrians?
I'm not helping anybody. I got a ticket in my pocket to Constantinople and I'm not gonna waste it.
Is this a joke to you? Who killed Tyler? Tyler gave his life for our freedom. And you? What do you believe in? You believe in nothing?
Good. We're slowing down. You can stop shoveling now.
Keep shoveling.
What are you doing? Have you lost your mind? Stop the train!
As I was telling my friend before you shot him, I've got a ticket for Constantinople in my pocket and I intend to use it.
Constantinople? You won't make it out of Belgrade.
I wasn't planning to stop in Belgrade.
We are still within the Austrian Empire. In the name of the Emperor, I order you to stop the train. Do you think I won't shoot you?
Go ahead.
Now you've done it. Damn you! Give me that shovel.
Everything under control, I see. Well done. Pity you couldn't have stopped the train before we hit the border crossing, but we can't have everything. That's a Serbian army train. By the look of it, I'd say it was General Georgievich. He appears to be following us.
That train's on a different track.
Is it? I believe you're right. What on earth does he think he's doing?
Ej, oni su nas prebacili na stari kolos.
He says they've switched us onto the old track.
Mi moramo stati, stari most neće izdržati voz ove težine.
He says we have to stop. The bridge is old. It won't take our weight.
It'll have to.
I say you've had rather a hard morning, haven't you? Why don't you go down and take a bit of a rest? I think we can keep it going ourselves, don't you?
Da, we run train.
It seems you'll make it to Constantinople after all. Congratulations, you've won. What about finding out who killed Tyler? Or have you forgotten about him?
Maybe it was one of the Serbs. Maybe Mahmoud. What difference does it make? They're all dead. I can't help Tyler, I can't help anyone. You were right. I never should have gotten mixed up in this. And neither should you.
At least I'm serving my country.
What country? You're Jewish, you speak German, you come from Hungary. What is your country?
My father spent his life in the Austrian military. My brother was killed in action. I think that gives me the right to consider myself an Austrian.
I hope the Emperor appreciates your sacrifice.
What about you? Once you get to Constantinople, where will you go then?
To Jerusalem. There's a man there who has a manuscript I'd like to get a look at. Do you want to come with me?
Oh, if I only could.
Don't you think the Empire can totter along for a while without your help? I mean it. Come to Jerusalem with me.
I'm thinking about it.
I am the monarch of the sea, the ruler of the Queen's Navy, whose praise Great Britain loudly chants.
We should be in Constantinople in an hour.
Where did you get this?
I've had it for a long time.
I've seen this tower before.
Where?
If I think for a minute, I'll remember.
It's just a design on a ring.
Only an American would say that. It's a family crest. The tower, the hand, every part of it has a meaning.
Maybe they mean he bought it in a flea market.
Don't go away. When I come back, I'll tell you where I saw that tower.
Where are you going?
Out!
Ah, Mr. Cavs. We have been waiting for you. Not yet, my dear. Would you bring us the Firebird, please? Thank you. And now, if you would be so kind as to open it. Kath, we are wasting time. How beautiful you are.
What's that sound?
Look out the window. It's growing dark.
But what is it?
Don't you know? It is the beating of its living heart. Now, make it sing. Play the Sardis. Play it! Sunset. That's enough. Close the egg now, please. Close it!
Vergessen, Max, mein kleiner Schatz. Oh, ja, jetzt ist alles.
Tatjana.
Давайте, Маруша, война должна закончиться.
Take me away from here, now, please.
What are they saying? What's happening?
It's war! Avusturya ve Sırbistan harpte. Harp! War!
I know a skipper who can take us to Gallipoli. We can get a boat there to Jerusalem.
Don't look at me like that. This war won't last longer than a month. I'll come to Constantinople as soon as it's over. I'll take the first Orient Express that runs after the war. If I don't see you, I hope you find what you're looking for. Take care of Max for me.
We wanted this to be an exciting, romantic, adventurous, nostalgic spy story.
I think The Last Express really has the potential to get people to see what multimedia is in a way that they haven't seen before.
Well, Train in the Way is the perfect setting for a computer game because it's an enclosed space. It's something that you can represent the 7 cars of the train, with great detail. And within that closed space, you can give the player great freedom to maneuver.
If you want to see the way the Orient Express was at the height of its period, when it got its name as being the cultural icon that it is, you can look at our game and say, this is a pretty good guess.
It's a really intriguing storyline that lends itself to being romantic and mysterious and moody and beautiful.
What we had to do is rethink the way you would make a game, because suddenly the scale is so much larger.
The Last Express is a mystery adventure that takes place on the Orient Express in 1914. Europe is literally on the eve of World War I. And you play a character, Robert Kath, who has been called to the train and arrives late. Certain things have happened before you've even made it to the train that are going to affect the rest of your voyage.
The characters on the train represent many of the forces that brought about World War I. You have a German industrialist, you have a British spy, you have a young Russian anarchist, you have the remnants of the old power of the Tsar and his young and innocent granddaughter.
The story itself is the puzzle. What we wanted to do was create a seamless environment where you could move from walking around to talking to people, but in a way that there was a smooth transition from the points where you're operating to the points where you're seeing yourself in reaction shots.
The world is changing and one does need to choose sides, and sometimes things change so fast that it's hard to tell one side from the other.
To me, the puzzle pieces in this game are the characters. If you don't get what's going on, you lose.
You come up to a character and you can click on a character, you can give the character something, and there's also a slipperiness to the characters. Sometimes you can't get to them fast enough, so you actually have to follow them through the train. You can listen to what they're doing, and then at that point you might want to interact with them.
The thing that I think makes our game the most unique technically, and definitely the biggest challenge for us all along, has been what we call the character logic, or creating this illusion of life that you have as you move through this 3D journey. Each character, and there's about 35 substantial characters, has this sort of set of routines that they go through. And basically they're going through and they're interacting with each other, and there's all these sub-stories winding back and forth, but the fact that the player is there causes events to happen earlier than they would have, causes them to happen in a different sequence, or causes completely new events.
It's being scripted as the player plays it, and I think if you take the game home and play it, you're going to see things, combinations that we never saw here and never planned.
Within this real rich story, you've got these traditional game puzzles where you have to solve things and figure out how to open magic boxes and how to discover the secret keys so that you can open up the doors along the train, and how to avoid the conductor, and so you can sneak in to people's compartments and climb out their window and look in on other people.
The Last Express really focuses on attention to detail. The historical research that's gone into this product is phenomenal, and that's translated into every frame that the player will see when they're playing this game.
Because I didn't know anything about trains. Nobody on the project was a train expert, so we really wanted to find an actual train car. These train cars that they used in 1914 were made of wood. They switched to steel-bodied cars after the war, but these teak cars, the ones that hadn't been destroyed in the course of World War I, well, most of them were destroyed during World War II. But through the network of train buffs, one of these guys in France called a friend of his in Italy who he knew was nuts about the Orient Express. He called us and told us that there was a sleeping car of the type used in the Orient Express sitting in the train yard in Athens. It had been abandoned, I guess, at that point for 50 years. It was just sitting out there off the tracks, windows were broken, but there it was, the last remaining sleeping car.
That was like a very important discovery for us because it gave us the ability to be accurate. To me, it's like bringing a period back to life when, all incentives were to forget about it.
Based on the state-of-the-art of 3D modeling in 1993 when we started, there was no way that I could have imagined or anticipated that Donald could create a model that was so rich, so beautiful, and so detailed.
With this particular model, we had thousands of angles, so basically I had to create the whole thing down to the level of detail of the screw. If we could actually recreate the environment accurately and say, look, this was the Orient Express, we'd have at least made some sort of artistic statement.
Part of the inspiration was the Art Nouveau style that was in vogue in 1914. If you look at the paintings of Toulouse-Lautrec, Alphonse Mucha, and much of the poster art of the time, this was really the forerunner of the modern comic book.
The Art Nouveau style lended itself really well to this game for several reasons. First of all, it's pretty much a line artwork. It's very flat. It's of the time. That's the great thing about it. I mean, this is the look of the historical period that we're shooting.
One of the benefits of using this animated style character is that I think people are drawn in the story more easily than if they were watching digital video. I think there's a tendency when you watch digital video actors to focus on the performance of the actors, and the story gets lost. By watching these animated characters, people are more into the story, into the interactions between the characters, and you're actually more into this world.
We knew that we could shoot live-action people, scan them into the computer, but then how to get the computer to turn the photographs into line art.
That entails taking that footage, converting it to black and white ink drawings, basically. Then the artists go back and fill in color into these ink drawings and grab the faces of the characters, which is why it's called grab face.
You know, we cast actors that we thought would look good when they were turned into cartoons, which is a conscious selection of physical types. You know, we looked for people with strong features that, you know, when they were made up and turned into cartoons, you could spot them coming down the corridor a mile away.
The technical challenges behind that were enormous because, you know, instead of just filming a character from one angle, you have to film that character from 7 or 8 angles. For instance, if you walk into the restaurant car, you can see somebody sitting at a table, you know, eating or talking to somebody, and if you suddenly go to the other side of it, you'll see the other view of them.
Most important thing in terms of getting the characters to actually look like they're in the train, to look like they're in the space, is to have the camera angles match. What we did was we actually took the film set and constructed this long corridor and had actors walk up and down it and kind of sat there with video compositing tools on the set and tried to match them to the rough renders that we had already coming in with us.
When a character is walking towards you and meets your eyes for a moment in the corridor, you can believe, wow, he really looked at me.
It's one thing to imagine all the elements in isolation, and it's quite another thing to see them all working together.
And to see the timing and the editing and the dramatics and the soundtrack and the music build up, that to me is the most exciting thing. And then to see the special effects.
You'll see a train blowing up as it crosses the bridge, a bridge collapsing behind the train. Bringing sort of Hollywood techniques into play, we were able to get an effect that I think is really great for the player.
You've got crowd scenes, you've got a dog, you've got children, fights, stunts, people climbing on top of trains, people jumping off of trains.
The way the characters go around and talk to each other, all this is accurate.
Are you reading about Madame Caillot?
I don't believe we've been introduced.
The environment is very seamless and integrated, but it's all done within the context of the game and within the story, so you really believe you are there.
And history is the true drama in which we're living. To the extent that you can recreate a world and bring people into it, you bring history alive in a really stunning, vivid, intense way. People play it as a game, but they also learn at the same time about a world that's vanished now and that we should remember.
What you're seeing on the screen is something that's alive inside the computer. Hopefully as the player gets deeper into the story and learns, you know, what's going on and what all these characters are about, I hope that you'll develop an emotional response that's a little deeper and more complex than a simple question of good guys and bad guys. We tried to be very true to the spirit, not only of the train, but of the period and of things that were happening in Europe in different spheres at the time. As much as we could find out, this is what the last journey of the Orient Express in July 1914 was like.